And welcome back from that break. Glad you're still watching Science Breakfast with me, Alan Habert, and the sign language interpreter is Wanja. And these are the stories that are making headlines in the dailies, and we want to quickly go through them with the professor here. And the CS ex-spy master and what 10 billion home owners in disaster. Now, scandal. In 2014, Deliverance Church clerics informed the congregation during a service in Nairobi about a potential land investment. Prospective investors bought into the project, paid at least 2.5 million for 8-acre plots and built their dream homes on the land in Ruiru, now Kiambu. But a decade later, they are staring at huge losses after a court ruled that title deeds are fraudulent since the land belongs to the family of former spy chief James Kanyotu. That is a story that you'll find on pages 2 and 3 of the Daily Nation this morning. Prof, now it seems like fraudulent deals are finding themselves into churches as well. From the position that you sit as a board member on within the church leadership, what do you have to say about this story? And of course, the church should lead us into prosperity by giving us direction in general life, in entrepreneurship. But should there be a boundary on how far the church can tell you what to do and what not to do?
Yeah, first of all, I want to say that well, this is not the Catholic Church,
yes.
But basically, I've seen things that the church has faith, and sometimes the faith goes too far where you believe people you should not believe.
Yeah.
And that is not their fault, because a land should have a system where we have the sanctity of the title deeds. There are some places where people respect a title deed.
Yeah.
And you know, I've sold land, and I've seen so many things in the land. Do you know that there's a very interesting story whereby someone took a Muzungu in a helicopter and flew this guy over Kisumu and showed him the hyacinth in Lake Victoria and told them, that is all land I can sell to you. So they landed with the Muzungu, and the Muzungu gave him a deposit of 2 billion shillings.
2 billion?
Yes, and the guy went with the money. I've seen cases. This is not a theoretical story. This is a true story. That Muzungu is now in squalors because he took money from his family investment. He was able to, actually he used the family property to take a loan off as collateral and gave this man, because the guy told him that the total quality value of that land was going to be 6 million. So the guy was supposed to start working on the initial documents of transfer. You know, if you go to Europe and find someone telling they can sell for your property, actually they're the one who can sell. But in Kenya, the Muzungu had the faith that he has among the people in his country, and he brought them there. He brought them here. This Muzungu was from UK. So we've seen so many cases. The sanctity of title deed in Kenya is not there. Alan, if we just walk with you here, even along Kiambu Road, you'll see this thing called, this land is not for sale. Why should we? Why should you put a poster on your land that's not for sale? Who is selling it?
There are people who are trying to sell it on
So that's the point. Someone is trying to sell land which is not theirs. How can someone sell land which is not theirs? Why will they get a title deed? Do you know that I've gone to court whereby 8 people have the same title deed? And this happened in the Ministry of Land. Alan, we need to do a serious cleanup. If you hear those families like Kanyotu family, isn't it? I must say that Kenya does not just need a president. I've heard people discussing about, oh, so and so is fit. Fit to do what? Kenya needs someone who will be a revolutionary. Someone who will give back Kenya to Kenyans. Kenya currently is not in the hand of Kenyans. The people governing Kenya doesn't look like Kenyans. They govern like foreigners. Do you know, if you become the president of Uganda, will you care about them? What I'm trying to say, if you are not a Ugandan, you have no feeling towards Uganda, isn't it?
Absolutely.
So you can do anything, isn't it? So the current people running Kenya, they run as if they are not Kenyans. How would you ensure that there's somebody who has paid 2.1 million shillings in title deed, but it's not their land? Who sold this land? Who did the transfer? I learned the kind of things happening in this country can amaze you. There's a time when some boy called me and told me they want to give me a tender to supply bearings to SGR. The guy took me to the office of the Minister for Transport, and he was sitting there. Inside the office of Minister for Transport.
Yeah.
So if I take you now to the office of Minister of Transport and tell you I'm the one in charge of procurement, and I'm sitting in the minister's office, so you can believe the contract.
Absolutely.
What these people do is that some people pay the government officials to sit in government offices claiming to give contracts to people, and they're not there. And they share the loot with the government officials. This country, I've seen it all. When I tell people I want to be president, I'm not saying I want to be president because of me. We need a cleanup, a serious one. We don't even need a cleanup with a broom. We need a bulldozer to come to Kenya and just bring all crime down with a bulldozer, not with a broom. You can't even sweep it enough. So if you look at the land deals happening, how they have been happening, there are some people who are in control of those places. I don't want to call them cartels because they have been allowed. Every president comes and brings theirs.
Their own.
The next one brings their own. Me, I don't want them. We should have a system which is transparent. There's a time we talk about digitizing the land registry, where you can see everything. There's AI. Let me tell you, Alan, with the AI, we are still having title deed which is double. AI, which can translate every tell you this one is copied. Like now, as a professor, if you write a thesis, we can tell you this thesis is a plagiarism by around 66%. We have a technology, just upload the thesis and tell you that this is 98% similar to already existing one. You must have just lifted it from here. Are you getting my point? We have advanced technology. They don't want it. Why? Because they don't want transparency. These things should be digitized. Even this healthcare thing about the issue of uploading, whether you are registering for a healthcare, education. Why should someone have a fake degree in this time and history? Why are we waiting for another committee to decide whether it's a fake degree? Take the certificate to the portal and it will be declared fake. You get me? How many governors and MCAs and senators have fake degrees? How many people have fake title deeds? That you have to go to court so that the judge can determine which one is fake and which one is not fake. Was the judge issuing these certificates? So you've seen people going to court and saying that the judge will determine whose land belongs to this, isn't it? Why should people discuss that? Is it not clear that this is not and this is it, which is authentic? And sometimes we find that this guy was given title deed on 4th of January 2021. This guy got his in January 2024. And we are still debating who has the original title deed. So I'm trying to say is that this system has been rigged against us. I was just saying the other day, Alan, do you know why the law is opaque? Do you know why the law is opaque? That people go to court that want to know which is the day we're having an election. Seriously. That's what you call res judicata, waste of judicial time. Why should someone go to court that the judges should determine which is the election date? That it was written in a way that they need interpretation. These people have opaque laws, opaque policies, so that they can be at your mercy. That someone you go to court determine who is your father. You understand? There are some things which are laughable.
And our aunties only needed to look at the nose and they're like...
Yeah. So, and you know what's happening? This boy grew up somewhere. How? I saw someone saying that he's the son of Kibaki, and there's a case in court of someone who claims to be the son of Kibaki. We just ask, where have you been? We go with you where you have been, isn't it? Why should you go DNA test and take, I don't know, court cases where a lawyer has been given 100 million shillings to handle that case? Why the judges, judiciary wants to make money in bribes and everything, so that they make everything opaque, so that they can be the one interpreting them. You are getting my point? So even that issue of title deeds and the rest, there should be a clear land registry that you cannot register two title deeds. Can you imagine, Alan? Has it ever baffled you that you cannot register to vote twice, isn't it? But you can have two title deeds or three. Like now, there is what you call IPRS system, isn't it? Which once you have put your ID and passport, you can't even use your passport to vote and ID to vote. IPS will tell you, we only recognize your ID, and also we have your passport.
You cannot even borrow with you can't borrow 2 times with the
How comes this one is clear and this not clear? Which means it has been made by design to benefit somebody. Yeah.
And other stories in the nation this morning: corruption proceeds, Obado allies lose 500 million worth of property, and Kenya's Golden Stars conquer the Berlin Marathon. And other story here, Kenya completes interior historic gold sweep from 800 meters to marathon. This was during the athletics championship in Japan. The Standard this morning: costly swindle, and Kenyan taxpayers now face the risk of a 10 billion penalty after a cancelled dam contract turned sour. Now, British firm GBM Engineering has petitioned authorities, saying it was cheated out of a deal to finance and build the Grand Falls Dam on River Tana, a project meant to boost Kenya's power supply. The deal signed under President Uhuru Kenyatta was scrapped in July by the Ruto administration. Now plans to revive the project with a different contractor are raising fresh trouble. This is a story that you'll find on page 4 of the Standard this morning. Professor, I remember one time we seated here and you said that a survey is done, and then that survey is deemed unfit. Then another survey, a more expensive survey is done, up until the point that a lot of money is wasted. Is that the same story here?
Yeah, if you want to look at this thing, Alan, why do you think that nearly everything under Uhuru's administration
is being cancelled?
Yeah. So that they are given another contractor under Uhuru administration.
Yeah.
Without trying to throw stones,
Yeah.
Rironi Mau Summit
Yeah.
was given to a French firm, isn't it?
Yeah.
Under Uhuru administration.
It was cancelled.
It was cancelled. It was to be given to a Chinese firm, isn't it? It was cancelled.
Yeah.
Now they are using NSSF money to do it.
To build it.
You understand? Why that? Now I know that there's the bribe which is given to the administration that was trying to do it then. So when Uhuru Kenyatta administration was awarding that tender,
basically hakukula na wenzake,
yeye alikula lakini yeye ndiye hakutekeleza. Wajua, you eat then you exit.
Yeah.
Did you hear this saying in English which is called backing up the wrong tree? Backing up the wrong tree means you are bribing the wrong guy.
Yeah.
You see, that's why when election has taken place even in the US, during election, people tend not to do many things. You understand?
Yeah.
Don't cut deals a few years before the election unless you know the implementation of this deal is within that term, isn't it? So this is actually the miscalculation of the French company. They gave, if they gave, they gave. Or if they didn't give, then they needed to have given. So I think the French company felt offended. They even threatened to sue if the Chinese were given. And the Chinese asked for William Ruto asked from the Chinese to give them something so that they can award the tender to the Chinese. And the Chinese were clever because they knew that as soon as they take the tender, the French will go to court, and then this again will go bad, and they might not actually implement. So this might go up to the end. Now, William Ruto has only 23 months in office.
So basically there is no money to do that road.
So even if now you do with even if now you bring in, I don't know, there's no other country that can come and do it international. So that's why it's not working. But State House will be complete within 23 months. I remember Uhuru Kenyatta almost supervising the SGR, but he said that he has to open when he's in office.
Yeah.
So it was open before Uhuru left office.
Yeah.
So some of these things, my brother, I'm telling you, that I really don't agree when you hear that some of these people are fighting each other. That's why I don't even believe that you tell me so-and-so is a former this, was working with so-and-so, so they can be good president. No. We need a revolutionary.
Yeah.
We just need someone who do not know these people, will jail them. Because they have been playing this game from the beginning to the end. Tell me who has not been in government. As we speak, Some of them who are saying they want to run for president, they are on serious, I call pension. Some of them earn up to 85 million shillings a year in terms
pension.
of money.
Yeah.
Some of them have at least 4 government vehicles and drivers,
At their
isn't
mercy.
it? Some of them who are running now have cooks paid by the government, isn't it? Some of them who are running are having GSU protection, and they are running against the government, and they believe they can change anything. No, they are already enjoying too much.
Yeah.
I can tell Kenyans that we just need to look at it pretty well. That the most important thing is that we need someone who understands how things should be done, but don't understand how things don't work. Some of these people who need to be recycled knows how things don't work. So what the experience they have is how things don't work. And I can tell you, my brother Alan, as a strategist, when you read how these people talk, they talk big. How Kenya needs to industrialize, how Kenya needs to become first world. But there is no culture of execution. The culture of ensuring that when you talk about a road project, it is done. The culture of ensuring that when you talk about manufacturing, it is done. You cannot be industrialized when you have flickering electricity in a country. If these people were serious, stable, reliable, and affordable electricity is good for industrialization. Go to industrial area, my brother. You sympathize with people who are manufacturing there. They move from mains to generator.
Yeah.
And they consume a lot of fuel there. Now you're asking me, why are they having to use generator? Somebody supplying fuel. Someone supplies to them diesel. And by supplying diesel and and petrol, they make money. The national grid, you see our grid, needs upgrade. It cannot contain the electricity need. Someone just need to, instead of putting this money, I don't know, at you are going to set out spending 100 million shillings, 250 million shillings in a day, put that money on upgrading the national grid. We have electricity in geothermal, sleeping in Rift Valley. You know, the more you bring geothermal energy into national grid, you lower the cost of electricity.
Yeah.
Don't they know? They know. Do they want it to work? They do not want. Because every time you get Kenya Power, a statement, they tell you, you paid 1,000 shillings, isn't it? 250 went to pay to petrol. Have you seen those things?
Yeah.
Generator charges. Then they tell you maybe only 500 shillings have gone to buy units. Then the units are around 25. What are you doing with that? So Alan, these people have rigged this country against us. And they are beneficiaries. I give you another story. Let me leave Kenya so that people don't think I have an issue. I was in Nigeria. And I went to a professor who began a way of using natural gas. Not when Nigerians drill oil. There is a natural gas that comes out from the oil wells, isn't it? So he came with the technology whereby this natural gas, instead of burning them to finish them, they could be used to be put in pipes to help lighting and provide energy to the manufacturing area in Lagos. Now, when this person came with the project and got funders, he almost died because the people supply diesel and fuel.
They would have been put out of business.
They would have been put out of business. Eventually, he almost lost his life, but he was very strategic. Eventually, he succeeded. But it is after risking too much. So the interest of the people in these processes of making things not work so that they gain is very high. And that's why we need a cleanup, not I tell you with a broom, but with a bulldozer. And when I end here on this thing, also I want to relate this to the president's speech in Machakos the other day. And I can tell you, Alan, that's what is irking me, that I think I have a chance to inform Kenyans about it today. You know, the president said in Machakos, the reason why Ukambani is behind is because of the politics of Ukambani. He was simply trying to say Ukambani is behind because of Kalonzo, isn't it? At the same time, he went he said that now Homa Bay is doing very well, Bungoma is doing very well because of the people who have joined his government from Bungoma. So the president was simply trying to say, if you don't join my government, you are going to suffer, isn't it?
You're going to remain the way you are.
You're going to remain behind. I want to tell these people that this is not fair. Because once you become president, you should be the president of all Kenyans. No matter who was standing with you, no matter who is not standing you. It cannot be because of Kalonzo's ambition that Wakamba must suffer. It should not be because of other people from Luo Nyanza. Raila previously has been running against the government that Luo Nyanza should be punished. It should not be because, for example, Matiang'i coming from Kisii, Maraga, all those people who have aspiration, should not be because they are running, their region should suffer. Because there is somebody who came with a very bad word. Do you hear this word called national cake? It's not a good word. Because national cake means that there's a cake here which is given to you only if you play ball. You understand? So Kenya should get equal development, equal resource distribution and allocation, irrespective of who is running. Can you know, imagine Raila never went to ask all of us in Luo Nyanza that he wants to be president and we agreed. Not all of us agreed, isn't it? Kalonzo has not sat with all people from Mukambani and agreed with them that he's running, therefore they are willing to suffer for him. You get me? Let Ukambani develop irrespective of the ambitions of people from Ukambani. Let Mount Kenya succeed in development irrespective of the ambitions from people from that region. Northeastern the same way. You go to Rift Valley, you go to Luo Nyanza, you go to Western Kenya, you go to Coast. They should develop irrespective of whoever has ambition. Because I can tell you, Alan, when I end, no one runs for his community. No. Because when you become president, you rule as an individual. And you rule with your friends, family, and your network, isn't it? So you cannot punish an entire community because of ambition of one of their sons or daughters. And I'm very clear that we should change this narrative. Alan, if you have any moment, tell Kenyans that a community has never ruled Kenya. Jomo Kenyatta ruled Kenya as Jomo Kenyatta. People don't even know whether he's a Kikuyu. No one can confirm. No one has tested his blood to confirm he's a Kikuyu. We don't even know, isn't it? People say Raila is a Luo. As far as I'm concerned, he's not a Luo. But Luos have suffered because people think Raila is a Luo. Raila actually has said he's a Luhya, isn't it? But how many Luos have suffered because of him, isn't it? So we cannot know who is a Luo. In fact, I can tell you, if at all you come from Kikuyu, do you know that there's a time when the colonial masters and even government sent some Kalenjins to beat up the Kikuyu and beat them properly, thoroughly. Even the women were raped, isn't it? How many children must have been left there with those Kalenjin men? So how many Kalenjins are in Mount Kenya who are seen to be Kikuyus, but actually they are Kalenjins? But so I'm trying to say that let no community be left behind just because of ambitions of one or two individuals. Now, Alan, that I'm running for presidency, isn't it? Why should Luo suffer because I'm running? My ambition is different from theirs. In fact, I'll be going to ask them for their support. They may support me or they may not support me. Why should some people suffer because of their ambitions? So let us leave this careless talk. Kenya is not tribal, Alan. Politics is local, yes, but it's not tribal. People use local mechanism to mobilize, but does not mean Kenyans are tribal. Kenyans want something good for all Kenyans.
And the last story is when citizens borrow to buy food, and Kenyans now borrow more than 13 billion a month from digital lenders, mostly to put food on the table. It's a stark picture of a nation struggling to survive, with families left juggling empty plates and empty wallets. And this sort of sums up the whole conversation that we were having this morning, that if the elite are spending in Kenya, then probably some of these challenges will not be having. I hope you've picked a thing or two in today's conversation, and I've been your host, Alan Habata, and the sign language interpreter has been Mary Louisa Wanja, and every other Monday it is Professor Fred Ogola, the undisputed. And let us see you tomorrow as we keep you up to speed with what is happening in the